Welcome everyone to another high-end reduced instruction set 64-bit UltraSPARC computing live stream. We have some debugger to debug because turns out what you don't test and stuff is broken. So I realized this. So yeah, I'm trying to use a debugger on SPARC 64 currently. Breaks here with GDB arch utils internal error initializing current architecture, selection of initial architecture failed. That is of course unfortunate, and not only did I realize that myself a while ago, I also thought I tried to work around that, so now is the time to take a closer look. I believe so. The issue is also actually so it works. It works for a pure 64-bit build. I believe I had tested that. Also, the stream could be short, the stream could be long. It could be that we hunt for strange issues for an hour or two. Also, I just heard some clicks from my, not debugging this in QEMU, from my real hardware. I didn't power the Sun T4 today, Niagara Falls. I powered the dual processor Ultra Sunblade 1000, and it just made some clicking sounds. So I guess the previously primary fiber channel drive is failing. So that is a secondary drive. I recently auctioned for, I believe, cheap. Was it 10 euro or whatever? I auctioned a new drive that I'm running from, but I need to be careful. Probably as soon as I just click. Ah, shit. Also AMD GPU crashed. You can't mix this up. Ach, come on. AMD. This is why we run our business on enterprise grade risk stuff and not failing. Yep. Thanks for nothing, AMD. Would be cool if you get your AMD GPU stuff finally stable. I'm not making this stuff up. So, I have tested that a second ago. Let's see, SPARC 64. That is a. So actually, it's not really pure. It's just 64-bit by default. Let's, by the way, test on something else. That is also iJustRsync. So the fresh builds T2. This amazingly clean Linux distribution. And I had tested that a second ago, I hope. So yeah, that also, this is a serial terminal. SPARC. So it is obviously a little bit slower than Secure Shell. SPARC 64. Change router, could have changed router directly. GDB. Break main, run. Okay, that works. So the difference, so maybe it's just a configuration issue, which I try to work around. So that is, of course, a 64-bit binary. What happens if we build a hello world for 32-bit? Does that multi-arch, multi-binary personality work too? Break main, run info registers. So that looks probably, somehow it also has some info arch, whatever, somewhere. Okay, so that works. So that surprisingly works, or surprisingly, unsurprisingly. I also had to test this because I wasn't sure, because testing all this stuff with Hewlett-Packard and RISC-V and stuff, sometimes this happened, sometimes it didn't. I also lost overview. Does it affect all cross builds? Is it just some RISC architectures? Is it just some multi-arch 32, 64-bit, whatever? Strange. Binary subsystem personality. So yeah, so that are 64-bit registers, and okay, so that works. So maybe the live stream is shortish. Let's see, what do we do for GDB? Maybe we're just building it slightly wrong. GDB. So we do build that for, so we are supposed to build that for 60, okay, surprised. So I have it specifically in here. So that is the 32-bit, wait a second. So the 2-bit default, so why would that fail? So it's basically not change anything. It should be an easy code path, yet it does somehow not work. Question there, Ultra 5, no Sunblade 1000. Thankfully I have an Ultra 5, which I also gave 2 away also, I believe, right? Previous YouTube subscribers. Hope you enjoy them. I thankfully in the meantime have slightly faster stuff, because 400 megahertz does not, I mean, even dual 1.2 gigahertz is already slowish, so. Why would that fail? I mean, the problem is we can't just diff the builds. So one thing, of course, where to start by looking at the, so I should not always control people. Below one video, people already made fun of me of constantly pressing Control C. GDB, what is going on here? I'm not expecting really to see much here. So how do we configure? So we configure we configure for SPARC version 9 though. Is that correct? Maybe it should be SPARC 64. Wait, that is partially interesting. Okay, let's quickly, what happens here preset? It's SPARC 64, it should 2 GDB. Altering, why does it, no, wait a second, it shouldn't do that. Why does it do that? It should not do that. Maybe that is the issue. Alter arch. So we should be here, right? SPARC 64 32-bit default. Yeah, diet-libc special handling, kind of sort of could also remove that. We're not supporting that the most anymore. Ah, wait, here it's not here. Ah, here we're building IS. Did I say nobody screamed even in the comments? It's freaking commented out. Did I not? How did I overlook that? Oh man. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't open source on a Sunday or whatever. Okay, so then let's see if that works. Maybe I previously had it in there. I mean, I remember it is broken for a while, but I mean, not only it annoyed me. It needs. Shit, maybe that is why I did that. Because then we need GMP and MPFR. That explains a thing. Then the question is, oh wow, then we can maybe not even easily fix it unless we, I mean, we could try. So the thing is, the code base is complex, right? We could, I mean, it makes no sense to step with the debugger through. What we could do is, I mean, there are two things. Maybe we configure it as with SPARC 64 as target. The question is, will that work? Otherwise we would need to, I mean, yeah, this is basically category, more general multilib stuff. What do we have here in UltraSPARC? So if we, 64.32 is a little bit misleading. What do we, so everything else, here is that, okay, let's maybe try it the GCC way of, that would mean, okay, let's try that, maybe that works. So that the difference is configuring for SPARC 64 target, but not building it a 64-bit code with M64. So it would be still 32 mile if it builds, right? You never know. I mean, obviously compiler, debugger, probably even debugger kind of thought are more tricky with all the process handling and stuff, as probably unintuitive as it sounds. You would think code generation is, I mean, obviously everything is near rocket science. Also, I built this one, SPARC 64. It's of course all difficult, I mean, not impossible, right? Not only there is GDB, I mean, in commercial ones, There's also LLDB and so on. Let's build that a little bit faster. We don't have all Sunday to wait for that. So I hope it's some easy fix, but it's just the accumulation of best practices of documenting how to build this stuff to work in the best way. Maybe I should have built verbose. Recurring mistake of not building verbose. Probably I should actually check the log while building it. What's that we wait here? So that is target here, host SPARC 60. Does it even? Okay, it built. The question is, will it work using cross tools, not prefix with host triplets? Okay, the question is, will it work? So rsync that here. That probably should not override much. Oh wait, did I? I think I didn't have proc on this mounted. So change root, let's see, build SPARC 64. Yeah, fiber channel drive clicked again. Oh wow, it does something. Breakpoint, run for registers. Wow, that even does something. I mean, it prints. I mean, it looks relatively okay though. I believe I built that here. GCC, GDB. That was, I said it could take hours to debug this, or also like if we would, as a last resort, actually read. Because currently we probably, we're building it as a 32-bit binary, like adding proper more multi-lib infrastructure. Is it multi-lib? Yeah, multi-lib infrastructure would be a pain, complex pain, which is, yeah. So break main, run, frame. Oh, does it not? Wait, should it not have debugs? Ah, yes, also proc. Okay, I have not proc mounted. Maybe I should mount proc. Ah, not frame. Did I not build this with debugging symbols? It works better, but not perfect. Oh wait, there is. Boah, the drive. I'm not making this up. Hope you heard that click, click, whatever. Probably must be it can only be the head parking around there. I need to get rid of this disk. Thanks to your share, like, and subscribe, I have already a new disk. I have both in there. I didn't think it that broken. I knew it was a little bit glitchy, but probably it aged a bit. Like running it 5 hours probably gave it the rest here. So much to auctioning stuff off of eBay. Click, click. Yes, click, click of death. Yeah. You don't need an iOmega zip or Jazz drive for clicks of death. So it somehow does not work the most, though. That is unfortunate. Okay, and that also does. Trap. Okay, somehow this does not look. So what is the other build is? So the other build is really 64. It would be really unfortunate if we. Welcome there, tuning in from work. Happy to hear that. Okay, it works better, but not amazing. That is unfortunate. How could we best work around that? We could build MPFR and stuff. We could debug. The problem is that it's such a complex problem, it easily takes days or weeks. I mean, if you are a GDB hacker, this head clicking there really gets on one's nerves. This is absolutely silly that this totally doesn't work. Alright, you don't, okay, you mostly see that. Okay, better is not really helpful. I mean, if we set out here too, I mean, I mean, sure, a little bit better is better than nothing, but wait, did this not previously work? Or did I? Wait, what? Ah, right, this is a, which is it even? All right, we need M64. Somehow, this is really not the most happy. Okay, that also doesn't work the most. Okay, so then, okay, building it. What have we done? Configuring it for SPARC version 9 resulted in set architecture stuff not working. Internally, building it like that, like configuring it for SPARC 64. I mean, maybe if we could give it one last try. Adding host so that it builds with GDB, like adding, so it has target. Maybe even building it with, what do we, so usually it alters architecture here. So GDB, what if we, would we need that? Would need, what a complex mess. So if we do nothing, it worked the most, and that built it defaulting to 32-bit without altering. I mean, if we want that to work, we probably need to alter this arch. Otherwise, I mean, ironically, it was more broken that way. Okay, let's try alter arch so that it more properly built for like maybe it's not working because now all the stuff is totally out of sync. And then var append conf opt target. So we do arch machine. So that does, yeah, theoretically we also have here other stuff to wire up eventually, maybe. Arch machine target, size of long, chart pointer, native, arch build. Any complications with power management for battery usage? What do you got a ThinkPad with Ryzen installing? I mean, usually this stuff was, I mean, usually I didn't have to, the last years, mess too much around. I would think it probably should mostly work by default. So do we have, what would be the arch triplet be then? So arch target is changed. Oops. Let's hard code this to SPARC 64. It's basically altering arch without altering it too much. T2. Let's just hardcode the T4 test. Maybe even host equals SPARC version 9 T2 Linux GNU. Let's see how that works, if it even builds. So this stuff is a little bit trial and error, because due to the sheer complexity and inner workings, right? It's basically, I learned it over 20 years, it's pointless to study the configure. You can read configure and makefile for hours and still, it's like, with all the pre-configure hooks and makefile quirks and whatnot, it's like, I basically just, so it has built here. So I basically just, so if, I basically just trial and error, it's usually the fastest. So host SPARC version 92 Linux, and do we have target here, or did we, why is here no build? Host should here not be target? Or it has SPARC. Actually, maybe all we need is a proper target then. Should this not have... No, this has no target. Okay, let's add target 2 and see what happens. Actually, I have target in here. Why did this not... Was it auto removed? Wait. Run conf target. Oh no, there is target. Did I somehow overlook that? Wait, what do I have? Why do I have here such strange stuff in here? Somehow is... I'm a little perplexed now. Not really sure. So build, host, target should be... I mean, that also fails in other ways. Excuse me. Wintertime workaround. Convince, start using other Unixes. Why should you convince me to use other Unixes? Please explain yourself. Why does this not have the desired effect? Or does this GDB, what's happening here? Extra, enable obsolete for IR64, enable shared, disable static. It's probably otherwise it didn't really work quite well. I don't see something that's much more fun, much less pain. I don't see that like that for me Linux has the most features, but we need to urgently write a microkernel. Did I re-alter that maybe? No, what? GDB, why does it var append altering arch machine target to? Why is this first? And that, what am I missing there? Somehow, sometimes it's also not my day. I clearly see here, do I have this multiple times in here? GDB. It should alter arch first, and then... What's even going on here? What? Someone playing here some tricks on me? I don't get it. Var append, conf opt target, eval conf opt, true, eval conf opt, conf opt. Okay, that is empty here. I don't get how, unless it is some delayed printing of that. Not really sure. Maybe the logging plays here some trick. Otherwise I don't have an explanation for that. So I don't think this fixes it yet, because this probably builds how it built in the beginning, how it didn't work. I mean, so this runs, so pass config. It is possible that this simply runs too early. Let's hook it pre-conf. Let's run this later. So probably conf opt stuff clears it. So I think the logging plays here some trick on me. And let's hope that it's quoted in a way that it works. And then it is reset after, like we set it, and then the conf stuff. Let's see if we do host. Target, still no. What is freaking going on here? Or is that even too early for hooks to work? Ah, shit. Ah, it's also typo. Maybe I should actually, you know what? Oh, here. Did I want to put something on the to-do earlier? That is not important. Like eventually, maybe check hook functions. Let hook functions check. Target exists. Just a little bit quality of developer life improvement here. Why do you think other Unix systems are preferable? Please explain. Okay, now it works. So yeah, the hooks probably were not initialized because it is too early. So now we have kinda, let's see if it even builds. Because the thing is, the stuff is obviously so complex. I mean, I would write the debugger so that it, I mean, sure, that are exceptional combinations and configurations, but it somehow should also work a little bit more reliable in my opinion. Let's see if that fixes the thing or not. Pausing this stuff over again here. What else do we have here? GCC problem, I guess. What level of education let you do this point of sophistication? Well, I mean, I'm not even writing a compiler, right? What I actually really want, I mean, my dream, I teased my vaporware microkernel fantasy project often enough. 2024 resolution. I mean, now that T2 is in such an amazing shape, the thing is, I want my Linux distribution to be like really working in all CPU combinations, right? And I finally want to release it. It makes no sense to start another project of your many projects if your first project does not, I mean, unless you want to have done your first project, but I did not want it to move on to microkernel YouTube fun without T2 Linux in an amazing shape again, if that makes sense. And what I also want, so I will not write it in C, obviously not in C. I would use lightweight embedded C++, but that is probably out after 20 years, also out of scope, out of fashion and sophistication. And also, I'm not the greatest fan of Rust, and certainly you barely can write a kernel in Go. And I anyway have some JIT and stuff dreams, so we probably on the path of microkernel we might. And also I actually want extremely simple minimalist systems, obviously also for YouTube entertainment. I mean, obviously you start with simple systems, but I would want in the long run some like 64-bit SMP capable multiprocessor, capable microkernel, probably. But like truly minimal, right? I'm not even caring about, even if the performance is half of Linux, I don't care. I want something like super simple, extremely reliable, and so on. Also readable educational stuff. Obviously not C. C++, yes, no, maybe, kind of, sorta, but also too vintage and modern C++ sucks. So, and if we want to JIT it, like it sounds a bit like Java OS or whatever, maybe even TempOS a little bit, unfortunately. Poor guy, may rest in peace. But I mean, I don't need to write another Herd Mach L4 microkernel. They are out there, and not another Linux like Unix clone. I have this with T2 Linux, and I obviously will continue to maintain that. So given that all the computer languages also sucks, maybe we need to create a programming language, obviously not as complex as Rust and C++, like saner than C. Yes, I know there's Zig in it, but it's also not my fault that everything sucks, right? Like if in 50 years computer science stuff only gives us computer languages that suck, from C to Python, not to mention Perl and Swift or Go, it's like why do I need to do everything myself? It's like, cannot someone else write an amazing language? But yeah, obviously this will be a simple language that we like, somehow some Rust, some minimal Rust-like language that is as simple and minimal as Lua, if that makes sense. Should I subscribe? Patches welcome. I hope I have enough time for that in 2024. Anyway, yes, crazy dreams. You ask, you got an answer. And yes, I'm aware that, I mean, but I'm not writing TempOS 2.0 in assembler. So it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not that insane. So, not yet. Hopefully never. So, SPARC 32, change root here. Let's see what GDB does. No, GDB does again not work. Error in current architecture, initial architecture. Why is this? So this does not work much better. Somehow, do they simply not have some lookup for SPARC version 9 in there, which would surprise me? So target T2 Linux GNU. What happens if we make this just SPARC? I mean, it's like, yeah, they configure stuff and makefile encode is behaving erratically. It's like, I should probably read the sources for that. So the configuration that works is pure 64-bit. I mean, we could build like 2 or 3 other libraries, multi-libs 64-bit flavor as last resort. Not the most happy with that. Certainly put some pressure on actually eventually making more general multi-lib stuff supported. So what else do we have here? Wonder if Oberon 2 would be a good fit. No proper compiler for it. I would need to look into that. Just based on Unix's free OpenStream cases. I don't agree really with that. From what I've worked with, I didn't find this as a. But yeah, everyone there. I mean, but it's of course what you have the most experience with, right? So okay, this still doesn't work. This selection of initial architecture failed. That means sounds like some simple enough problem. Simple enough problem. But writing, coming back to my Vaporware Fantasy microkernel language project, that of course, like basically think of a more modern Minix, or I mean, the thing is the Minix code base also totally sucks, right? Totally old-fashioned C with statically sized arrays all over the place and hard-coded stuff and whatnot. And so yeah, something like a even Minix has, like, if you have minimalistic and Minix, I mean, pity they took the name. I mean, now that they've abandoned Minix, maybe we could steal their name. Not that it would be confusing, but like, yeah. But yeah, probably not doing that. That probably is too confusing and sucks. And then nobody takes it seriously from the name alone. But it's like some minimal Unix-like stuff. I mean, a little bit like Java OS, if that makes sense. Shouldn't say it's a lot not to get sued by Oracle. But of course not using Java, which was a language that sucked. Yeah, we will see. GDB's Codam is non-SPARC GDB to find out what happened. I think we probably, I mean, it already says here, we probably should finally take a look into this line. It gives us already a line here. Let's see what's going on there. Maybe I should have done this. I mean, I thought, but I mean, you always do a mix of what you have a gut feeling of. You could work the fastest to find the problem, GDB. I thought it's probably configuring it a little bit, probably should start to work, but it didn't. 14.1. And we can directly, that was GDB. What does it do there? Inline 753. GDB Arch update. Oh, thank you very much. Did I not go just some... Yeah, whatever. Thought there was some message. So, Arch update p info. The problem is we can't... I mean, I could copy another debugger in there. I guess what is this function doing and where is it coming from? Not wait, I'm grabbing that wrong. Alright, this was, did I? I didn't grab this wrong, I copied that wrong because was it that one here, right? Set engine, internal error. Was it? It was somewhere this update, right? 7.5. It's a little bit inconvenient unless we set up some remote debugger, which currently also doesn't work. I mean, I could somehow, if I wanted to debug that and step through the debugger, I could somehow copy a working debugger from the other build somehow into here. 753. That was GDB Arch update P. So this, what is that? This is initial current selection of initial architecture failed. Create set architecture command, appending auto to list of architectures. Does GDB have some kind of info? Dumping its internal configuration stuff. What does that even work? Nah, that also doesn't work the most. Fun. What even is that here? That is initialize current architecture. Initialize current architecture. Finds the default BFD Arch. I mean, the question is, no, BFD bin utils, the assembler works for 64-bit. was that? That is a line, right? 752. 753, yeah, internal error. So it's filling all this stuff, and then this GDB Arch Update P thing fails. Does it have... Do you think you're able to implement... there is a heart button in front of the text. That is a little bit inconvenient. Do you think? Implement what? Implement in the... What do you mean with quant or as though? So where was GDB update Arch? I mean, one thing we could do, build it natively, which probably builds 20 minutes, and we would have the sources, unless could NFS mount it somewhere. Where even is that GDB Arch? Thank you very... Here's GDB Arch. What is that? Arch dump. Okay, GDB Arch dump. The question is, so somehow it can't set its default anyway. How can that go possibly so wrong? Was it not GDB update? GDB Arch update P. GDB Arch update P. Where is this? Maybe in... What address is open? Certainly more convenient. Ah, here it is. Try to select a global architecture that matches info. Matches info, target current program space, checks the current file info, current exec BFD, check for the current target description. Same old architecture, accept the request but don't swap anything if it is the same. New GDB Arch, target GDB Arch. Maybe I should, before wasting my time on this, I mean, it's not obviously not even a primary super important, except probably for some military simulators. And actually recently recently as like a year ago, so someone wanted to fly me to Croatia. Apparently some Siemens X-rays use SPARCs. Someone really, they saw my 2023 or so, or 2022, like a year ago. People see your Instagram post about SPARC, and doctors want to fly you into some hospital in Croatia to get there. What SPARC even was it? I don't remember what it was. Yeah. So yeah, if you're wondering, hey, this stuff is still, unlike, hey, we got to delete it. I mean, obviously it's probably running Solaris, Solaris. I fully cross-compile, and that is not a change root, that is like a real hardware change root. Debugging queuing was too slow for me. We could give it a try if we build the other stuff for 64-bit. I mean, let's check the log file again. I mean, we changed it from SPARC version 9, right? So checking for, where do we have? Where is even? So target, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a Frankenstein thing, but neither SPARC version 9, like how could this not work? Whatever they do there internally. I mean, we could give it a try so that does not work. Really, this is as broken as it was before. If we do that here, we need 64-bit variants of MPFR and stuff. I do that for wipe the previous builds, remove Alter Arch build 32. How did I have this hack here, like building shit twice for like, I believe E2 of SPARC. Do I still do that? And in general, we need more here in curses, for example. So that means we built them for 64-bit to have 64-bit, and then build our primary 32-bit. So because the thing is the headers, right? Usually the headers are compatible because, I mean, you have the libraries in lib and lib64 that works. But if the headers, I mean, usually the headers are the same, but sometimes they auto-generate shit in there. And like if there is statically, I mean, normally you would do that, but best practice as seen on this YouTube channel, most people don't follow this and YOLO all questionable shit together until it works. Like if you've seen people welding rust together on their falling apart vintage car, like this is literally how most software is built. So, I mean, shouldn't do that. I mean, you daily see on my channel what shouldn't be done. Like not like I'm doing it, but other people. Like, let's see. I believe we need MPFR and whatever. Let's see. So if we build this will fail. It failed previously. I also need a new coffee. Also best without typo. Line 70. Here's some. This didn't comment this out. And so we need probably MPFR and GMP or whatnot. Let's see, I don't have the MPFR, okay, the MPFR, GMP. Let's see how many depths, MPFR, GMP. Let's see in which order that MPFR. It's a little bit annoying to need that. Also, what was the other? Was it GMP? GMP. Was it what I just had done there? Of course, T2 built this in the right order, just that I had manually. So yeah, building and curses within GMP using and curses conf. What? Hello? we did say something wrong. I maybe probably have something hard-coded because previously I probably only did this for curses. Okay. Build package using package conf. Where is the info here of none? At least making, I mean, it's far from a general, so what we would need for, but the thing is I rather finally write either my dream microkernel, and with that, I mean, basically, maybe it will also, but that's the thing, right? I want something entirely differently new, because I also said this before, like, right, I don't even want a bootloader. I basically, I mean, sure, you could say I want everything but the kitchen thing, or like everything but the complexity and stuff. Of course, you could laugh at me, like people laughed at TempleOS developer. But the thing is, many of my points are of course valid, right? You could discuss all day whether it will be technically possible. I mean, of course, I mean, if you you cannot just throw all technical requirements together and then it doesn't work, right? This is like all the other companies, which I mean, you cannot make impossible product specifications up and then build it. But as I said, all the code duplicated in grub, bootloaders are biases. It's not like what I'm proposing is technically impossible. But you can discuss, will it be more maintainable? Will it be faster, slower? I mean, I'm not even targeting faster, right? I'm targeting in the beginning, microkernel is slower. Let's hopefully achieve 50% of Linux performance. But then I'm also saying, with technical, like superior algorithms, even with a multi-server microkernel, maybe we can make some things even faster with more clever APIs and algorithms, because we are not running them in a single address-based kernel and stuff. But yeah, MPFR, what MPFR? So one package build, what is going on here? Static assertion, yeah, thank you very much. MPFR, so much to static assertions here of somehow this, what would that be? MPFR, oh wait, that's exactly the kind of thing what happens if stuff is out of sync. Maybe it generated some shit into its headers, which is unfortunate. Did I say best practices and then it immediately breaks? The question is, so the 30, did the 32-bit variant, oh no, the 32-bit variant didn't build yet. This is like 64-bit. So building the 64, why does building the 64-bit variant fails? So it's basically unaltered. Why should that fail? That shouldn't fail. We basically configure this with defaults, so that is just SPARC 64. This should not fail. Why does it fail? This shouldn't fail. Maybe that is also pointing to be some other problem in some way. Static assertion fails size of bytes per MP limb. How did it generate that? I don't have Oh man. Need to keep the temp fs. What, do you have a typo there? I don't. MPFR, GMP, what are you even freaking MPRF? Maybe you watch this with some MPFR, MP. What? Or maybe you talk about. Oh, you mean your log files are probably. What the heck is going on there? Can't mix this up, this is ridiculous. Session fails in 44. Okay, fine, this is not the... There is even init C, not an expansion of static assertion of init 2 37. Size of funny that this previously didn't occur. Where did we copy? Was it 37? Darn it. So this is size of so I mean the compiler should know, I mean unless the compiler is also severely broken. I hate this. I need to reinstall this VM with something is somehow this VI is not happy. Or I'm not happy with this VI. Where is that coming from? Oh, every freaking, this is ridiculous. I hate native more support. I mean, if you do native more support, then at least make it so that it freaking works. Why does, oh wait, did I? I'm getting crazy with this bloody mouse shit. I know this is MP, is that one? Size of divided by what the heck? Or is maybe some MP if this is relying on some GMP, we build GMP first, right? Did I just say best practices and then the first package already? Yeah, thank you very much, GMP limbits. Go fuck yourselves, yeah. The bloody first effing. Yeah, GNU scientific stuff, it's like, yeah. And you are wondering why after 25 years I am like, it's not it's not best practices, but surely someone will do it. And then the first bloody project, let's hardcode our detected shit here in this GMP and configure. It's like, yeah, that's I need coffee. We could just dynamically patch that to The question is to size of something ourselves. The question is, does it have more hard-code stuff here? Maybe not. What is that? Oh, this is someone wants to go smoke. I don't smoke. Smoking is not good for you. By the way, do you know how much if you significantly smoke, not only is it obviously not good for your health, but if you smoke your entire life, you will smoke as much money away as you can probably buy a entry-level apartment in your country or stuff usually. So yeah, just pro tip, don't smoke, buy an apartment from all the money. So we want to build the 64, but let's just change that to 64 for a test. Does this fix something? So we probably would need, hey, that fixes something, amazing. This clicking from this fiber drive makes me a little bit nervous, and thankfully I need to get it out of there. But hey, that is why we're building a Linux solution. So obviously we can't leave it like that. So the right thing to do for that, of course, is have CPU as freaking PowerPC? Are you kidding me? Why do you have this PowerPC shit? I mean, it's 0, but like, what the heck? Anyway, so I mean, I would never write code like that, right? Like, why not use proper types and stuff throughout? Size of char, what or what do they? I know they want like size of, what is it? Usually long, right? Pointer are on most Linux. Actually, we can even, we can even do with the one pointer chars, right? Like char or void doesn't even matter. Multiplied by 8, like freaking. That's correct, isn't it? That is 4 or 8. It's probably so. We okay. This does not. Or does it not support initialization of? Nah. Okay, if that apparently size off, that sucks, of course, a little bit. Which should this not be static? Can we cast this somehow? Should this not be? Why is this not? Okay, we could also use if def then, so that previously, what do we have right now? 64 or something, right? You know what? Let's do this in a second step. Let's first see if that works. All we need is currently a. I know we also need to. Actually, we need this working probably for GDB to build. Okay, so we build a 64-bit flavor. Let's see. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Wrong key. Let's see if that is enough for GDB. We might need. So, what if def can we? We probably. We will probably find some generic. Built surprisingly long. All right, we only built it for 64-bit. All right, so currently only the 60. What did I currently do? I have 64-bit in there. Built surprisingly long. Okay, somehow tried to run Xorg. Thank you very much. This sometimes. Why does this freaking happen now? This is absolutely bizarre. But I believe, did it fully build? So that usually happens. It's absolutely, I probably should actually debug that. I mean, such bizarre problems, right? I diagnosed this already. This happens since we switched to bin dash as default, bin sh, and some shell scripting is so strange. We have already like a dozen workarounds maybe even 2 dozens in the meantime. Like for all the packages that do crazy stuff in shell, some of the stuff does so crazy stuff in shell that sometimes they run a capital X. Maybe with all the bloody tests of, like, you know, this old-fashioned Unix scripting. I've not really, I basically should better diagnose. I mean, I patched all, like basically I patched dozens of other packages to explicitly run bin bash for such things and not to accidentally run X, like run capital X bin dash is used as bin sh. We used bin sh zoomlink to dash for some previous video years ago, 11% faster configure performance. And given that configure runs so embarrassingly long and not parallel, we of course take like easily 11, like whole system building 2 hours. Like if I can build something in 2 hours or 2 minutes, it still does the stuff. Anyway, we only need the GBS. It's probably enough for, oh darn, did this. Yeah, no, I changed all it wrong, shit. Or did I? Oh, this was, so yeah, this, oh no, actually it worked. It just, yeah, I need to be careful. This main root, as I said, it's fiber channel drive. I need to get it out of there. I basically need to install the latest, finally fully working T2 edition on the new fiber channel drive. It is vastly larger anyway, like 56 gigs or whatever it was, or even more, hundreds of gigs. Let's see if that freaking works. So we have some 64-bit libs now. Change root. Okay, we have this in the history. GDB, what happens? Oh wow, it actually does work. Does it fully work? Hey, it fully works. Yay! So, yeah, so building it fully, I mean, I would say it should not be necessary, but somehow it is. Quirky, decade-old C code, what you got to do what you got to do. At least now it works. That is all I wanted. So, what do we have currently? File out. I mean, I basically don't want to, so basically that is how long, probably an hour, right? As usual, solving some small thing, an hour, of course, over an hour later. Solving some small GNU Free Software Foundation low quality C code stuff from, GCC, let's build it for 32-bit, let's GDB that, let's break on main, let's run that, and it works also, yay. Okay, that's progress. I mean, so I will not spend more time on this, right? It works like that, so it's still not all. We still need to patch this multilib thing. I can only cross fingers, some knock on plywood, that we can actually get that to fully work with this 32-bit header installed there. Basically, so, and also this X11. So, I mean, it's funny that this only occurs now. I really wonder what the freaking heck it's doing there. It's even always annoying to find, so how did I usually find that? I believe I usually found that, like, what you even, because to patch that you need to know where even it tries to run X due to shitty shell scripting. One workaround, of course, would be to build in a container without X installed. It's my regular full feature T2 install that it is in there. Did I not see where? Oh, this is. Oh, that wasn't Signal. This was other blue stuff, including nothing, or is 204. Too many notifications. So, FL maybe read. Is it in? Maybe it's not even in the read log, or is it? Anyway, maybe simply bin x here. Conf test. Yeah, here. It's so, yeah, it's, I'm not making this shit up, right? So it's run from build package make, like make is running as h, make is running as configure. It's like, I don't know what's like except shitty shell scripting. It's amazing that it probably, anyway, it only happens for some builds like SPARC 64, IA64, but it's funny that it didn't happen. Like maybe it tries to run the binary, but the conf test SPARC 64-bit binary should not start with shebang. I really wonder why. What random coincidence of bytes? I should want, like, yeah, how complex level craziness should I always debug? I mean, I knew this like for a year or two since we switched to Dash. I mean, so far I always patch that locally. Yeah. Do we have more of that? Okay, it happens often. Like, what the heck are you even freaking doing there? The question is it just which configure? Is it a subconfigure or the main configure? Okay, fine. This is my least of a problem. I patch this just later tonight with a tea on the couch. Let's fix this MPFR issue. So it's also probably the question there, how you fix the MPFR. So yeah, question there, didn't get how I fixed the issue. I for a test, hard-coded it to 64-bit. That's of course not the general solution just yet. So let's, which even was it? Right, MP, this was MPFR, right? So okay, let's build GMP again. So what do? We need to find some. We can even do this on our precious SPARC here. Basically, the GCC EEDM hello C. Let's see if we can find some system defined. So I'm not doing that daily. I mean, I would usually, so what I usually would do is I would use size of a pointer or stuff. I don't need to configure this, right? The compiler knows the sizes. I would just use like normal programming languages constructs, where you get to that. I tried to change it to size of character pointer, a void pointer, whatever. Some of that didn't build probably. I mean, it is in const expression, but maybe old-fashioned C is in some ways strangely picky that the size of doesn't instantly early derive to, I don't know, I would think it should work. I mean, maybe I had a typo in there, but anyway, so what we need, if the size doesn't work, we can use any other system-wide define. Or like if I would have invented Unix and C and stuff, I would actually have system-wide defines for that, right? And not like gazillion years later. The question is, where does it, like we could even use that size of int or what, a size of, how many other sizes? The question is, where does it come from and do we always have that? So here are size offs. So I would then use any other useful type, size of pointer here. The question is, where does it come from? Is it some generic system thing? Is it coming from the C library? What is, that is DM, was it DE? Size of, what was info DM? We have preprocessor DD, which did I usually use for that one? I think in, here, probably, maybe. Yeah, so here are built-ins. So yeah, that is it. That is -E for preprocessed sources, and then usually I use -DM for the macros. dash D is whatever. What was it? Dash DD stands for DM, except it does not include the preprocess macros and outputs, both the defines and the directives. Defines and directives. Something of that sort. Debug defines and directives. Debugs DDD. And then, so the size of stuff is that built. So that's freaking built in, right? So we always have that if we use a modern. I mean, it's not my preferred choice. I'm not saying that it's super duper, it's the most top-notch amazing, but it is what it is. So MPFR, so that will of course fail. So we will use that to avoid this bloody runtime. And so that is why we also don't, this is exactly why we don't have more general multi-lib stuff, meaning building libraries like libtiff, libjpeg, what you would need for Wine, and so on. Very few Linux distributions have sophisticated support for that. For me personally, it never really was the most necessary, except now maybe for Wine and box 86 and whatnot, which by the way, there was an update, box or 64 of, no, prefix. Somewhere there was a new version. Box didn't even update. Was it box 64 or box 86? Both not, whatever. So yeah, there are also comments. I'll get to that probably. So 026. Not sure why our script does not. Should. Comment there, jump, what do you have there? So yeah, this is how we will patch that for general multi-lib build improvement stuff. And that's exactly this kind of stuff that I knew we would need to fix for each bloody package that will fail. Otherwise it will just either miscompile and runtime crash or have a static assertion. Don't have any good advice. What I did learned how a computer works, jumped Linux from scratch. Okay, people discuss their stuff. So box 64 and 80. Oops. T6 is 04. Numlock wasn't. Come on, numlock. That's what we need numlock for. So, also updates. Was it ARM only, or it's probably box 86? Probably will be fine. Patches welcome. Normally data should do that. I probably need to teach data another thing or two. And then let's patch that, what we wanted to patch, now that build failed here of MPFR. So we can't use VI because somehow copy and paste stuff here gets on my nerves. And let's put here that multiplied by 8 per byte. That hopefully should be fine. Please don't disappoint me. Apparently it is fine. Thank you very much. Then let's patch that for real in GMP. Also, I should build with debugging, but with verbose, but I always forget. Sorry. So then that was style of somewhere. Where would that be? Or let's maybe complete that. Can completion? No. Where are you hiding? Mini GMP? What the heck? Did the configure probably not run, huh? Probably. That's inconvenient. Yeah, professionals. What should I say? Professional unprofessionals. Unprofessional professionals? Professional unprofessionals. Free Software Foundation. What should I say? So, it is what it is. We currently see amazingness. Best practices not. GMP, where is the freaking header? It's top level. Thank you very much. Why did this not have a in file? Oops, GMPH. It's fully freaking auto-generated or what? Configure GMPH. GMPH PC 64-bit. What the heck? Where is the freaking right? Was there some? So what even was the? That was bits of GMP limp bits. Limp. Is it not limp? Bits. Here. 1, 2, 3. What is in configure? Limp. Bit. What? 1, 2, 3. This assumption is 8 times. Might be slightly rush. Size of same types needed processing time. Where is it freaking generating? So usually there is a in file. Somehow they don't have an in file here. Doesn't seem to work. Where do they freaking write the bloody file? GMP.h. We need to get another hot citrus at home. So long limb setup for long limb. Hello. Don't tell me that is the next thing that will break. Ah, here's they have it named GMP. They don't have. Why do they not? Thank you very much. There, it's a freaking file. Thank you very much. Just named it shitty. So let's patch that away here. So the question is, should we? They have a really hard-coded PowerPC stuff. Like, are you kidding me? Anyway, so this was limp bits, right? Oh darn. Why is this 0? GMP nail bits, whatever that shit is. How I hate this VI on the system. So we could either always, so we have two options, we have two main options. Of course, the possibilities are endless, but so we could either patch it always, or we patch it only for SPARC. And I think for now, I don't want to break. So the pros and cons is if we would patch it always, we would more quickly find when something breaks. But on the con of that, like pro there, con there, the pro of the con, the con of the con, the con of the pro is we would potentially break some stuff. And the least thing I want to do is more constant. The only constant is change and regressions. So that is why I will probably opt for the middle ground of only patching this for SPARC 64 for now. Although this still will not give us extended test coverage, but I'm also tired of the only constant that is breakage. So I rather have less test coverage and less breakage for that. So size of pointer, save. So fix file diff, how do we call that, like multilib ptr, like we should have some generic naming, like, or like maybe we always name it hotfix multilib patch. Like multilib basically implies that, because if we want to further support this also for x86 for wine to build, but the crazy thing is we would need a gazillion things of that, right? libtiff, libjpeg, libx11 with all the dependency of libx11, of xcb and who knows what. Not the greatest. Looking forward to that. So that would be in general any multilib hotfixes for such kind of stuff. That if we want to name all of them similarly, that would be that. Let's see if that works. So we build, so yeah, that should work in SPARC 64. That's I deserve coffee. And like, recurrently, right, for 25 years, I sit here like, what were the people at the Free Software Foundation thinking? What are the people at Red Hat thinking? What are the people at SUSE thinking? And like, I mean, beside like SUSE in 1996 was so low quality stuff that I rather contributed and run my own Rock Linux distribution there. I mean, not to mean Debian in 1996 was so bad that coming from DOS and Windows, like coming from DOS, Debian in 1996 was so unusable for us that we thought Linux is complete unusable garbage, and we rather continued Windows NT3 or so for another summer or whatever. So like yeah, MPFR. And yes, I had a official NT. Was it NT3 or NT4? I probably have the CDs here somewhere. So yeah, I actually licensed that probably even when I was young. I think it was like 99 Deutsche Mark. So there was some Microsoft educational offer. I believe it was Windows, because we came from DOS. I mean, we obviously had backup copies of DOS and Windows 3 from our parents from work somewhere, of not to say pirated, but obviously nobody paid for MS-DOS or Windows 3 back in the day. So obviously we had pirated backup copies of neighbors of that. I mean, not I didn't set up, like, not to say my parents, but it's like, yeah, I properly licensed Windows 95 and Windows either 3, I don't remember, CD is probably there, should check. It's like, yeah, 99 Deutsche Mark, I believe it was, which obviously was dirt cheap. It was some student thing, whatever thing, right, obviously. And we also licensed, I mean, because you got pirate copies of Battle Chess and X-Wing and Lemmings and stuff, but not from other high-end stuff you needed, like high-end. So actually we also, like my neighbor and I, we also brought, but we like shared it, like, which, yeah. One of us bought Turbo Assembler and the other one Turbo Pascal, and then we shared not maybe it was, no idea how expensive that was, probably expensive. But this the kind of thing, like if you want Turbo Assembler to write hardware VGA demos and some plus stuff, and Turbo Pascal for some high-level stuff, I mean, obviously if you have no neighbor to get a backup copy from, eventually you need to buy it, right? It's like, hey, it was 1996 or 1990. No, it was 1990, 1995-ish or whatever. Anyway, 1994, something of that sort. So, GDB. So yeah, we still need to patch the question. Again, we need to find that somewhere. Usual historic anecdotes of how to get into Fudge programming 38. By the way, is this nicely warm? I probably, what? Why is it, you know what, the sunblade is way too cold. Like, why is the freaking air coming out so cold? You know what? Like, wow, this is so much more power efficient than a Hewlett-Packard Precision Architecture quad core, because the air coming out of that is actually challenging space heaters. No wonder that I'm freezing. Can't even use, not even for warming your feet. Some data is good. So, S-trace FL, so that would be, what is it in the right log of bin xarc? Somehow it isn't. So the question is, which configure is this? Because it, I know it, or is it? The question is it the main configure or some, or is it still xarc? It's absolutely bananas. So why is it only happening for, I mean, okay, the reason why it only occurs for some architectures is because some of the shell scripting is so low quality and strangely quirky, only tested with bin bash apparently, that like executing some random shit does random stuff, right? And so depending on how the architecture machine code, assembled machine code looks like, it does then this stuff. Do we have more shell? The question is that enough here? Because they do more bin sh trickery. Thank you very much. How do I usually, did I usually hotfix bin sh? Something I need to check how usually. Let's see if that is enough for that to go away, or if we need to further dig into which other configure. It's absolutely banana that previously it did. Okay, I know but it also doesn't happen. Like, why does it happen for this build, but not the other SPARC 64 build? Continues to surprise me. Strange. Anyway, no, it still does that. That might mean it is I think that should still be an issue, because if it's old, I think the T2 sandbox protected to write this file. Is it? Or did it? December? No, it's from now. Strange. That is a pain to find always. How did I usually find that? I mean, usually that was enough. I mean, we could proactively patch the GDB configure, because here are plenty of subconfigures. Hope for the best. Otherwise, we could resort to S-trace, and S-trace also configure. Actually, we also need to trace the make, actually, because actually we would see that from, we should see that from the log, probably, whether the configure was run, was the configure run from a make. And it's absolutely bizarre, to be honest. No, it still does it. Oh man, what the shit. I really hate this issue. This is so... How could I better track? Does someone has tips? No. No community node tips today. That is that. Let's check our Discord for a second. Just for fun. Okay, let's see if bin x. Wait, what? Or was it read? Oh wait, maybe was it read? Oh, it was read. So it's make it's make configure. So it is a subconfigure. It always was some bloody subconfigure. But which? Why does it's like conf test? What does it even? How does it run the bloody test that X is configured? That X is run? Absolutely insane. I mean, we could patch all. How many are this? Not that super many. Absolutely insane. Could be any of them or all. Also, I believe it, I had a closer look some 6 months or so, and I believe it was some really like, I mean, if you write normal shell code, it doesn't even happen, right? So, I think it was doing some really strange eval stuff for this to even occur like that, because like if you normally run stuff, and even like if you run a SPARC binary, obviously it will not execute, the Linux kernel will not execute it. So basically what they do here is mess up some chests so badly that they somehow run the machine code output of whatever tests they built here or something of that sort. It is absolutely bananas that like, and this after decades of computer science, like this are the, I mean, sure, we could use bin bash as a shell if it weren't so slow. Let's hope that maybe I will binary bisect, like always delete half of them or so. I mean, maybe this extra 5 minutes like if this even fixes that, I hope it fixes this. But I obviously hate wasting my time with such trivial, complete bullshit. I mean, like no person on earth should have to deal with such, but that's also my criticism, right? And that's also very few people criticize their own field and stuff they're working. Oh, this still happens. Are you got to be freaking kidding me? Way too many people are self-critical and reflecting, especially in computer science. Like everything is the greatest shit. Like everyone needs to use, even if you don't need Netflix, Amazon like scaling, you need to roll out Kubernetes orchestration and hyperscaling for every small company website and stuff, and then like small company websites become so slow and complex that for 100 page views a day they run half a data center of serverless hyperscale orchestrations, and then they still have like 100, like if some hacker or security specialist ever looks into there's still like hundreds of security holes of the dozens of outdated frameworks they use and stuff. And it's like, there. I mean, what we could do is export config shell. Do we have? Is it only in the? What do they even? Okay, they have this. I'm not really sure what they do there though. I mean, we could try that. We don't have too many other bin.sh left. I mean, what a bloody stupid issue, really. I mean, not that, no, I mean, actually we should have it in the log that it's bin.sh, right? We should have in the log bin.sh or bin bash. I hope yeah, config shell because the bloody Vim did not allow me to copy and paste it. Bloody, this Vim is cursed. I mean, if we are super lucky, this config shell is enough, but fingers crossed, and first needs to even freaking build it all. Yeah, everything too complex, everything too broken, built on layers of bugs, often only working by pure chance and accidentally. And this is why we can't have nice things, because everything is just so fundamentally broken, which is why we call it fundamentally broken. And then the people who want to write the next big thing spend way too much time in debugging other people's bullshit all the time. Hey, look, I told you it's bin.sh and stuff. So if we are super lucky, let's remove the patch here. bin.sh to let's build this only with this exported config shell thing. Maybe if you're lucky that is enough and not the patching of all the other configure scripts. But yeah, I didn't fantasize this stuff, right? I've seen this now since we changed to bin-dash as a system shell for a little bit extra performance. Which even Debian does, right? But like, hey, even Debian has it probably since some years, and like, I mean, sure, who builds for SPARC 64 or Itanium or DEC Alpha for random shit to execute from random machine code? Be quite cool, that apparently. I mean, we could check if it's only, I mean, it should not be a random glitch, right? So it, by the way, built in 35 seconds. Let's see if that influences. I mean, the last time I benchmarked this configure, I mean, configure is not the longest time here, right? There are other packages that configure longer, like small, like libping or PNG or other small stuff often configures orders of magnitudes longer than like a handful of bloody source files even build. Don't tell me it builds now without that. That would be, I don't think it should, but you never know with this random, strange, buggy code. Yeah, of course it fails. Yeah, so it's reproducible, and I'm not fantasizing the shit together, right? I just wanted to double check that. Maybe in the future I first try that, but some other packages I also need to patch to bin bash not because they randomly execute X. Well done, shell scripting in 2023. But other make files or scripts simply use GNU extensions that already hard fail even on x86, right? Like it errors out of doing random GNU extension stuff not supported by regular standard bin.sh pure POSIX shell. Okay, fine, amazing. So long story short, and some bloody time wasted extra debugging of this nonsense. And I also did this. Did I mention I got this reported, right? I knew it was broken. I was like, yeah, some cross-compiling or whatever. It never was important enough for me. But now, of course, We also have a Sun T4 Niagara Fault CPU here in the office to put to good use. So with high performance out of order, SPARC silicon is of course already more important, but I got this reported, right? I said the last 2 weeks I was daily overloaded with people reporting stuff because obviously everyone wants to try out this amazingly clean Linux. Someone reported this, right? I want to use your SPARC 64 stuff, but debugger doesn't work. It's like, yes, I know. Thanks. Thanks for that. I knew that. Been there, done that. Change route. So I think this latest. So we rebuilt everything. Amazing. This is serial console. Serial. I probably should have reverse searched. Break, main, run, layout, SM. Amazing, right? Step. Amazing. Cool. Been there. Oh man. I probably should. Maybe on some days I should have weekend and not fix random people's Free Software Foundation shit bugs. So let's also commit this. So that is GDB is there, gbconf. Okay, maybe we commit this later. Maybe we first do architecture SPARC because it's basically currently it's usually I try to commit this in some same order. So currently it theoretically is building, except if we build it there. So MPFR, so we can also delete that. So this one release, so whatever. I give up on the strange configurations. 64-bit GDB it is. Then, I mean, we could actually commit that in. We're mixing a little bit 3 things here and or 2 things because this is theoretically we could do that eventually. Little comment. We could separate that, but I think it's not really worth it. We could commit using not hard-coded cursors. Wait. Oh shit, I have here typo. Why did this not... How did this even build if... Darn. Yeah, how did this freaking build here? How did I not notice it previously? But that's, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, so why we double and triple test and why we actually, I've seen this so often in big mega corporations and other open source projects, people committing stuff. I mean, people committing stuff without double checking it. And as you see, it happens to the best, right? And even sometimes it happens to me, especially when I'm on the go, when I'm traveling, I'm in some company, working on some embedded stuff, or some on-site stuff, or just traveling with a family, or not traveling just with a family. Like I quickly want to finish some stuff at home, and I have my 3-year-old jumping around on me and stuff. Like if you have a kid with his Lego car or plane driving on and over you and stuff, it's like quickly commit that quickly. It's like, and then you commit. It's like, dude, there was some random shit in there. It's like, PFR happens to me sometimes. Always sucks when it does. So always double and triple check that. I mean, the consequences it didn't. Well, I mean, it's not that much code, right? I'm surprised. Probably this had some conf, right? It's just that this conf code probably not being evaluated properly. I slightly wonder, does it even need this argument? I mean, maybe it was even a non-functional change, like a no operational thing, because that expanded to some empty string. But yeah, better double check than be sorry. Otherwise, 0 frames. Some people sharing, liking, and subscribing already. I mean, this live stream is too long already. If you want to, as usual, right? If you want to support the stuff, should subscribe. Maybe use the Amazon links below. If you order some stuff there anyway, GitHub sponsor, YouTube membership, all the other good stuff, or some Nice merchandise, like the only constant is change, t-shirt, hoodie, nobody ever got fired for choosing T2 Linux, hacker, Linux code for boys and girls, men and women, and everyone in between, Linux code, and caps, cups, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, you name it, and peak bugs and hacker. Can we? Is it too much? Yeah, I always just click some. Should we? One last time. No, I mostly only have theoretically one day debug some 8 GB issue. I only work. I debugged already 8 hours on this stuff. Don't really have enough free time this week for that. T2 Linux Premium hoodie. It's probably something you could get for yourself or your loved ones for Christmas or New Year. Change road there. GDB again. Probably I don't expect any changes. Amazing. Was it the 64-bit? No, I didn't even pay too close attention. Do I have... procedure, language, whatever? Okay, fine. I guess it looks like it would. By the way, do we have VM enough memory? What? 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 Oh, by the way, I was reported, but this kernel I'm running is GDB not enough memory for allocation? Is this why that failed? Maybe I should have looked into the dmask to start with. Is it allocating some negative memory size for its architecture state stuff? I'm surprised we don't have fiber channel timeouts in there. Okay, fine. Whatever, who cares, it's working now. So, architecture SPARC. See, I think I just commit this. I mean, I could, like if we wanted to be fancy, we could revert the comment, but the other stuff is like not to commit the strict comment there. This probably can stay in my working copy for now. Did I run? That, oh, no I didn't, because it updated the copyright from 21 to 23. So then fixed SPARC 64 GDB by building it and its MPF, GMP and MP4 depths for 64-bit. One last, that's only committing that one file. That diff probably fixed SPARC GDB by building it and its GMP and MP4 depths for 64-bit. Theoretically, it needs a full rebuild of testing that it fully works and builds in bootstraps and doesn't break anything else, obviously. Let's apply that back. Oops. And by the way, someone also reported that this would memory leak, but maybe that is a QEMU issue because so this does, I mean, I didn't like torture it, but we did quite some stuff. I mean, we did even, I mean, we did millions of system calls, right? We arsynced hundreds, thousands of files and gigabytes. I run BetterFS on encrypted device mapper, encrypted loops. So these two processes had to do quite some work, right? in kernel and out. Rsync tortured network traffic and disk I/O and encryption device mapper. I mean I have 8. Is this 8? It's 8 gigs, right? Wait, total is, so this is gigs, right? So 8, so I mean it buffered and cached 8 gigs out of that. It's exactly what you want your Unix system. Used is little, 254. I mean, is that reasonable for shared buffer cached 256? Is it a little bit much for idle memory use? Sounds a little bit much though. Yeah, I need to debug this huge page table, 8 gigs on this machine issue, which maybe not this year anymore. Okay, they also said that their file timestamps became strange, but I also don't see this here either. I mean, that's why I also have real hardware, right? Because I notice, I mean, not only QEMU is slow, I also, I mean, sometimes stuff does not emulate as precisely as real hardware. And so I always test, like if I have obscure bug reports, especially people using QEMU, it's like I always double check on real hardware. Sounds a little bit much, but it's a little bit highish, right? I mean, where is it even going, the memory? Is here even anything? Maybe here really is some memory leak. It's like a single address space Linux kernel. Single process, single address space. This actually does not really look like, but do we have so much in tempfs? And then we have tempfs. Size used. MNT temp. Size available. Not really, huh? Okay, maybe. I mean, it's indeed a little bit highish. The thing is, with 8 gigs of memory, you don't realize memory leaks very quickly. Okay, maybe there is something onto that. Probably need to debug that another day. Maybe I put it on the to-do. What other to-dos do we have? So package, right, we have this nonsense, my time. Whatever. I mean, all of this stuff is nice to have. It's mostly done. Cross-compile, we have done that. GDB, that is, it's mostly, I guess the other stuff are other live streams. I mean, basically, T2 is in amazing shape now. Do we have anything else now to... what was bin utils? Right. Right. We need to commit bin utils of... what is that? Alright, this is... I have more stuff. That is also testing actually the binaries. I changed the binaries not to waste so much memory. I was also reported by those people that this last T2 test, incoming test release, didn't boot in QEMU with less than a gigabyte of memory or so. And it turned out, they of course speculated all kinds of random stuff, but I took a closer look. I immediately said, maybe it's just out of really out of memory, and it was. And so like all the binaries were super large because the bloody default max page size here was a bloody megabyte, so all the tiny binaries were a megabyte. So obviously we patch that too. here, so fix bin utils SPARC 64 max page size. Likewise, this is also why I want a JIT and microkernel and stuff, because this is just so hard-coded nonsense. It's like absolutely insane. It's like, this is really, basically that means because the max page size could be higher, like a megabyte, and stuff for huge pages and huge database applications, whatever, and then all your small system binaries also become all the sections a megabyte or so aligned, because then the page alignment is a megabyte. The same happens for other stuff like alpha and whatnot, even Itanium or ARM64. It's actually here you see those we patch, right? We patch, all right, PowerPC 64 also. Absolutely hilarious. How many? Yeah, okay, we patch those too. Yeah, it's just silly. It's like you really wonder why this stuff needs to be so hard coded and old-fashioned, like we program you on a PDP-11 on some vintage Unix thing like it's a 70s. It is what it is. It's like you really wonder with all so many experts. Alright, this was bin utils actually. I meant you really would think with all the 100,000 developers and Free Software Foundation, GNU Linux Foundation, Red Hat, SUSE, IBM and Google experts, the stuff would in the meantime be like orders of magnitudes more modern, amazing, extendable, flexible, high performance, but everything is still so hard-coded C, like you write PDP-11 assembly in the 70s. Yeah, and that's why I'm not that impressed with such kind of stuff anymore. So GDB, fix GDB config shell to not run the 1x on some architectures. Nah. This bin is a dash. Nah. It's hilarious. It is what it is. That's basically it for today. We fixed another issue. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Have a good day and night. Stay healthy. Hope to see you soon. Merchandise, Amazon, GitHub sponsorship, and so on and so forth. Awesome work. New to this channel. Happy to hear that. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Currently trying to build some packages in OpenBSD. Wondering whether you ever thought about making T2 work on other operating systems. Yes, we have done that. I've done that for years. We have done that live on this channel, even with BSD specifically. So we recently, it's not like production ready. It's like rough prototyping, proof of concept. But it can be done to build T2, like using T2 metadata on macOS, the BSDs. We tried live here on this channel, NetBSD, OpenBSD, FreeBSD, Dragonfly BSD. Like a little bit, yes, it's rough. It's probably, I probably should. Yeah, the day has only 24 hours and I cannot also only work each night, right? And yeah, it's priorities. I should, in retrospect, but the thing is, I sometimes already use macOS on my desktop, right? I don't, like for our Mac products, right? If you're wondering, all this work, of course, sponsored by my amazing company. If you have embedded projects or paperless office stuff, don't delay. Use our stuff and contract us today. I also want my work more on my amazing Linux system, right? I don't want to do homebrew macOS then. Although maybe there would not be macOS. Like if I had made that work amazingly a decade ago, maybe there would not be macOS homebrew and everyone would homebrew with T2 on macOS. but it is what it is. Yeah, so I probably, the thing is, like, bootstrapping is a bit of a pain. But it's interesting that you ask. Best shell I can subscribe for that. We probably, and I'm actually using that, right? I use T2 build, Subversion, and QEMU on my Macs, right? To virtualize stuff on a Mac and use Subversion on a Mac, because it's funny how I came full circle. Actually, the irony is I did build Homebrew as long ago with T2 as like 2004, when I needed Subversion on macOS, like 10.3 maybe, even 10.4 or so on PowerPC. So I used it as long, I like proof of concept used it as long ago as 20 freaking nearly years ago. And just recently, and then I've not done for a decade because macOS shipped Subversion, and only when Apple recently dropped Subversion and macOS recently, I had to rebuild it again. So coming full circle of doing what I had done 20 years ago, building Subversion and now QEMU for my, I'm obviously running then also other things, but also T2 on my ARM, Apple Silicon, 64-bit ARM. So if I need to do some quick stuff, I mean, obviously if I do sophisticated stuff, I use my T2 native workstation. But if I do some business stuff and macOS stuff and sit natively on my macOS for USB and macOS performance and scanner drives and stuff, then the quick things I obviously do in QEMU. Build with T2 on macOS, running T2 obviously, because that's how you do your professional improved Unix work. Anyway, so yeah, I probably select, but yeah, my to-do is hundreds of lines long. It's like, yeah. Anyway, patches welcome. If you're interested in this stuff, there are previous videos. And in general, if you like this content and already shared, liked, and subscribed, and you want to see more, there are probably 1,000 videos also there on my more main channel. If you want to see more when I'm not live. So much to watch, so many topics, you probably can scroll through there on your commute, on your Christmas days, and otherwise bored in bed or whatever. It's probably really hard. The problem is getting building package on open this right, execute block with stop JIT, and interesting. So like, yeah, what we of course would, I mean, a lot of things built. We built some, even on Haiku, right? We did even do that on Haiku. Probably should do that more often. Live on this channel. Of course, we would need to accumulate more patches, right? So what builds upstream, like Vim or Xterm or stuff that builds. I mean, obviously crazy stuff needs crazy patches, like this crazy patches today. To build on BSD, OpenBSD, Dragonfly BSD and stuff. So patches welcome. Usually not that difficult. And also, if you're new to the stuff, we have paid bounties, right? Like if you want to work on some stuff, then let's hope it doesn't show my, yeah, so there are, like if you are new to the stuff, a student at school and stuff, or just otherwise, I like to work on this stuff. We have paid issues here. Some of them are also bounties. We are not yet as rich as Oracle, working on that. It's like, yeah, patches welcome for those. Can even earn some bucks here or there. More than all the other open source packages give you, which is usually nothing. I hope I enjoyed this, learned something, and